Moment.
Caspar!
I would remind you, sir, that this is a Jewish store and that there's now an official anti-Jewish boycott.
Where have you been? I've been looking everywhere for you. You disappeared. I didn't know what happened. Caspar! I need to buy a pair of socks.
Was sind das denn für Bücher, die da brennen? Mehr Bücher! Bringt eure Bücher her! Propaganda! Shame. Shame.
Beruf.
Street sweeper. No, maybe domestic servant or... Yes, why not? domestic servant. Heinz.
I cannot come, Christoph.
But of course you can.
No, it is too dangerous. For you, for me.
It's even more dangerous if you stay.
For Gerhard.
Gerhard? He's one of them, for God's sake.
He's my brother.
We're brothers too, Heinz, and more, much more besides.
And this is my country.
Not at the moment, it isn't. It will be again one day, I've no doubt. But in the meantime...
You do not miss home.
I have no home. This is home. Wherever I am.
I mean, we should be where we belong.
We are where we belong. Together we must stand. Together we're responsible for each other as individuals. Don't you see? You have to come with me. I want you to.
Yeah, now you do it in a week, a month.
I'll still want you, Heinz. Heinz. Of course I will.
I'm sure I do not know Herr Isherwood. What makes you want to leave Berlin?
How can I best put this, Fräulein? Adolf Hitler.
The Führer. One day it's Brüning, then von Papen, next von Schleicher, then it's Hitler. We must all make the best of it, Herr Isherwood. I am staying. Most Germans are staying. And besides, where else would we go?
Well, this is your homeland, Fräulein. I understand that. But Heinz and I, we want to get out. We want to travel.
But why? To go here, to go there? What is the point? Soon no one will be left. Herr Hamilton has gone. Fräulein Ross. Now you. You get used to it. You get used to anything.
Is your room satisfactory?
Mummy, he's not retarded.
Where you sleep is good, yes?
Yes, I sleep good.
Yes. Good.
Thank you.
How long have you known Christopher?
Mummy.
Shush.
I know Christopher 1 year and 1/2.
Oh, that long, and he's hardly mentioned you, if at all. And how long are you staying in our country?
2 weeks.
I'm sure Heinz can answer for himself, can't you, Heinz?
2 weeks.
You see? What a shame it's not longer.
2 weeks is as long as his permit allows.
Then maybe another time.
What is that?
Oh, now.
Christopher, that, Heinz, is Wimbersley Hall, part of the family estate. It's in Cheshire, in the north of England. I painted it, as a matter of fact.
You painted?
Yes.
It's very good.
Thank you, Heinz. That is the house where I gave birth to Christopher.
Yes?
And very difficult it was, too. I was in labor for 18 hours. 18 hours. Imagine that.
Mummy, please.
And dear, that was rather modern of me, wasn't it? But it was worth it. He was the most delightful baby.
Yes, I'm sure Heinz isn't remotely interested.
He had the loveliest skin and long, slitty eyes, just like a Jap. You see, of course he's interested.
You live in the past, Mummy.
Perhaps I do, Christopher. Because it's always there and it never lets me down. Do you have a mummy, Hines?
She's dead.
Oh. Oh, I am sorry. Oh, dear. Christopher's daddy's dead. He was killed in the war.
He was my daddy, too.
Yes, dear, but you hardly knew him. He was killed by the Germans on the Western Front.
What are you thinking of?
I'm not blaming Hines, darling. I'm simply filling him in.
And for your information, Heinz's daddy was also killed on the Western Front.
Well, there you are, you see. That's what wars do. Kill people. Toast? He's a nice boy. Well-mannered. A street cleaner, you say?
There's no reason a street cleaner can't be well-mannered.
No, dear, no reason at all.
How lovely to have a job like ordinary people.
But who'd have you, my darling? You seem to be inept at pretty much everything.
Don't speak to him like that. It's entirely your fault. He is like he is. Like what?
Richard, dear, we're talking.
That's terrible. He has to go back. And now Germany's withdrawn from the League of Nations.
Yes, that is rather troubling.
I must think of a way of getting him out for good.
But why should that be your responsibility? Surely he knows people who can help.
Well, he has absolutely no one, Mummy, except for a brother who's disowned him. And besides, I want it to be my responsibility.
So what will you do? Get him another permit?
Or even another nationality. Of course, you could always adopt him.
Darling, I don't think so. Are you sure he wouldn't be happier in Germany? It is his home, after all. It's where he belongs. And he isn't a Jew or anything.
You have no idea, have you? It's Nazi Germany we're talking about. It's not just the Jews who are being victimized.
I do read the papers, darling. I'm fully aware that the Nazis have done some bad things. Although one hears that Herr Hitler's done some good things, too.
Dear God.
If it weren't for that wretched boy, Auden, dragging you off there in the
Well, I
first place.
assure you, he didn't need to drag me.
But you must do as you wish, Christopher, as you always do. So long as you realise what you might be taking on.
Right. We're going to mail money to him in Berlin.
We?
So he can support himself until he comes back here. And if you write a letter inviting him to stay...
Christopher.
Then I'm sure they'll give him a much longer permit, maybe even for keeps. You can't do that!
I think you'll find that I can.
But you haven't proved your case.
Mr. Isherwood, your mother invites a foreign servant to her home without the requisite permit. You then send the boy money, telling him to claim it was a bequest, which in itself could be construed as an attempt to deceive His Majesty's Immigration Service. But then we have the letter that you wrote. May I? I am counting the days until your arrival. I've been so lonely without you. It's a bit curious, don't you think? The way it's written. It's a bit... What's the word?
Queer.
Thank you, Mr. Auden. What a boon to have a poet on hand.
Can't send him back!
Christopher.
No, God knows what they might do to him.
Not my responsibility,
So
I'm
an
afraid.
alien has no rights whatsoever in this democracy we're all so proud of, that men have laid down their lives for.
And I hope, should the moment come, sir, that you too will be willing to make the sacrifice.
You make no mistake, I shall appeal.
You can write to the Home Secretary for all the good it'll do.
Go on.
As soon as I saw that little rat, I knew we were done for.
They're all the bloody same.
Oh, no, my dear, he's one of us. It stands out a mile.